basically unlimited range on those threes. Pangos has struggled from three tonight, hasn't hit one yet, but has played well overall. Marquise Carter down low. Sacre does get a touch and scores.
That's perfect pick and roll execution there. Carter able to drag the screen out. Sacre with the weak side duck in, big and strong, gives this guy a target, and then finishes from 4 feet.
Marquise Carter, kind of forgotten man for Gonzaga. He's given some quality minutes tonight to Mark Few and company. Nicholas down low against Sacre. Pangos helping out. Nicholas, one dribble, had it poked away. Carter all the way. Carter scoops it in with the foul.
Number 35, David Kerr, second personal, 16 foul on the Pilots. Elias Harris.
Dave, we see this Pangos does a great job of just hanging around, and it's called digging in on the post. Pangos gets his hand involved as soon as Nicholas puts that ball on the floor, sparking the fast break. Carter attacks, takes the contact. Now we'll go to the line to finish, try to finish the three-point play.
Now the senior Marquise Carter was the MVP of the WCC tournament last year in Las Vegas. Misses that free throw, averaging just 4 points a game. He's had a very quiet year. Defense got back for the Zags. Rogers, good crossover move. Derek Rogers draws a foul. Rogers will be shooting free throws for the Pilots. Zags with the 8-point lead here, and Gonzaga's offense has really picked up in the first half. 9 for 29. They've already made 9 here in the second half.
Well, there's been a big emphasis, obviously, at halftime and adjustment. Try to get the ball inside. They're really finishing. Remember, Sacre played with a little bit of foul trouble, so he was in and out the lineup in the first half. Harris has been more aggressive, finishing at the rim. Then they've had some defense converted into offense.
Portland still hanging in this game. Just a 5-15 season for the rebuilding Pilots. Sacre takes a rest for Gonzaga. And here comes a trap in the backcourt with Stockton handling the ball.
What a smart play by Stockton. Most guys dribble right into a trap and get caught in a double team. But he does what you're taught in 5th and 6th grade. Retreat dribble, find the lagging guy, and break the press.
Wonder where Stockton learned all those basketball tricks from.
Maybe he had the best teacher in the history of NBA basketball at the point guard spot.
Block shot by Harris as Rogers tried to take it to the bucket. Here's Pangos. The speed from Pangos. A putback, no. Wave it off. A push-off foul against Gonzaga. No basket.
No basket. Gonzaga foul on number 20.
So the foul against Harris, who pushed off to get free and put the ball back in. I still think Mark Few would be very pleased with the way Elias Harris has played in this game tonight. He's been playing hard. Junior, native of Germany. He's a candidate for Player of the Year in the WCC.
Well, Harris is really back to his freshman year form. His numbers really dropped last year. I was talking to Matt Santangelo, the radio guy for the Zags. He felt that Harris had an Achilles strain last year that kind of limited his athletic ability. Now he's able to run and finish, and he's playing above the rim. He's really back to 100% healthy, and I think a big reason he spent the summer in Spokane just working on his own game instead of playing for the German national team.
Bailey draws the foul. Sarcastic cheers from Portland fans. Third foul against Robert Sacre. Fresh shot clock for the Pilots. Still only down 6. Despite the surge here from Gonzaga. It's a 4-point Portland lead at halftime. Bailey having a quiet game, and the lob a little aggressive. Trying to feed. Nicholas going to the basket, threw it over his head. Defense again from Portland. Stockton on the perimeter. Carter passed up the 3. Harris through the defense, a whistle and a foul.
Foul on number 32, Ryan Nicholas, his second personal.
timeout here in Portland.
The big fella, Robert Sacre, really doing it on both ends there with the anticipation, the block, and then posting up big, getting the nice jump hook and the finish, sparking the Zags in the second half.
Yeah, and Eric Spoelstra, who was a player here at the University of Portland.
And Dave, you can see the coach in him right. Look at that picture-perfect form. The guide hand on the left side, perfectly straight against the basketball. Full follow-through, beautiful picturesque shot.
Now that picture sort of tells you the era that Eric Spoelstra played. He finished his career in 1992, and he was a real good player for the Pilots. Still has the second most three-point field goals and assists in school history. Was the freshman of the year in the West Coast Conference back in 1989, and now an excellent coach in the NBA.
And really a guy who worked his way up from the bottom. You know, the picture that you see when he first got the job for the Heat is when he's just in that little tiny video room with all the tapes around him, breaking down film for Pat Riley and the Heat staff, and really just worked his way up from the bottom to the top.
So if Coach Spoelstra is watching us tonight, getting ready for tomorrow night, hosting the Knicks. They haven't forgotten you, Eric, here in Portland. Still a big part of their basketball history. Eric Reveneau, who has embraced the Pilots' hoops history as the head coach. Elias Harris misses the second of 2 free throws. Portland down now by 7. Biggest lead has been 8. Bailey, nice move.
I'd love to see more of that from Bailey. So athletic, has excellent size. At 6'5", can easily overpower these smaller Gonzaga guards that are out there on the floor right now.
Just a freshman. Carter the lob, and Harris got fouled. Bailey tried to deflect that lob pass, and there was contact. He was called for the foul.
Well, excellent job of splitting Vandermar's poor hedge there, draws 2 defenders, and Carter delivered that pass right on the money. Bailey just a little bit late on the rotation.
Good foul, though, to avoid giving up the lob dunk to Elias Harris, make him earn it from the free throw line. And Harris needs to be better at the line. He's matched his season average with 13 points, makes the first. But Elias Harris just a 60% free throw shooter coming in on the year.
And he has good touch and great form, so it's definitely in him. It's just going to be more reps in the gym. But Harris and Sacre became part of an elite club in Gonzaga basketball tonight. Both guys are over 1,000 points for their career, and both of them ended up over 600 rebounds now tonight with their rebound totals.
Each team now 42%. That's way up for the Zags, who started the game 3 for 17 from the floor. Rogers to Mitrovic. Mitrovic has hit a couple of threes tonight. Rogers not much of an outside shooter at all. You can see his hesitation there. He finds Mitrovic, though. No good on that 3. Pangos comes away with the ball.
Dave, the biggest thing on that possession, you could see the IQ of Kevin Pangos. He knows the scouting report like the back of his hand. He knows that Rogers is a non-shooter from the three-point line.
And there you see his skill on the offensive end. What a play by Pangos.
He's so impressive, able to get to the lane. Has different shots, different finishes there with the long layup or pro layup away from the basket.
Bailey to Vandermars, and he hits the 10-footer.
Vandermars from Kevin Bailey.
Timeout after that made bucket. Kevin Pangos having a huge freshman year for the Zags. Great guard history, starting with John Stockton, really, in this Bulldogs program, and he's the next in line, and he's shown off so many of his skills tonight.
Well, look at this. The advantage, a lot of freshmen don't know how to utilize pick and roll, but you can see Mark Few's very comfortable in putting Pangos in pick and roll situations because of his international experience, where the pick and roll is a huge part of that game. And you see now the best freshman in the WCC, Johnny D, an excellent shooter for USD. Carlino, the UCLA transfer, been struggling as of late for BYU, but has been instant impact since he became eligible. And the guy I haven't seen in person yet, but you spoke very high of, is Waldo down there, the big fella for St. Mary's.
He and St. Mary's, big win on the road at Loyola Marymount tonight. And a good year for freshmen of the WCC, just like it is across all of college basketball. But in my mind, Kevin Pangos clearly the class of that group, and he's just going to be a great one for Mark Few.
Yeah, when talking to Kevin today at the shoot-around, he just said his biggest adjustment was adjusting to the speed and physicality and passes and driving lanes that usually was there in high school, saying those lanes and gaps closed up a lot quicker at the college level.
Harris had it stripped away. Riley for three. Good! Big shot. Portland back within 4. Here's Pangos, still looking for his first three and still doesn't have it, but what a follow by Gary Bell.
And Bell was freed up because it was a rotation situation. The weak side guard, Bell's man, came to close out on Pangos on the shot, and Bell took advantage going the offensive glass. Nicholas
Real quiet in this half. A foul away for the ball down low as Bailey was fighting for position. Foul on Marquise Carter.
And here you see Gary Bell just in the corner anticipating the miss. Excellent touch. Heads up play by Gary Bell, seeing the free opportunity.
And for all the talk about Kevin Pangos and his great year having a good night, the one thing he hasn't done tonight is hit from the outside. Dangerous pass. Douglas. His three is good. Timeout, Gonzaga.
Well, a bad job defensively there by Gary Bell on the gamble. Tim Douglas makes him pay. Anytime you gamble in the open court area, usually bad things are going to happen for your team on the defensive end. And Tim Douglas been struggling most of the year from the three-point line. That's only his 9th make of the season.
Well, they sure are hungry for a victory against the Zags here at the University of Portland. They've lost 17 in a row against what I think they consider their principal rival in the West Coast Conference. Packed house inside the Chiles Center. This is a 5-15 Portland team that suffered through a brutal preseason with a tough non-conference schedule, and here they are playing right there with the Zags.
And it's a young team kind of growing up in front of our eyes, Dave. It just takes a little bit of time.
Sacre, the hook shot, gets it to go.
3 times on ATOs or after timeout plays, the Zags have scored tonight. That's excellent execution by the Bulldogs.
Nicholas Sacre right on top of him, playing tough defense. Here's Bailey away from the basket. Douglas trying to enter the ball down low. More good defense, though, by the Zags. They let Nicholas open this time. Missed the 3. Rebound, Elias Harris.
Thought about it a little bit too long. Just needed to catch and shoot. I think he was surprised to be that wide open.
Bell on the attack. The transition offense for the Zags.
And how lightning quick was that, Dave? We go from a 3-point game less than about 45 seconds ago back up to a 7-point and 3-possession game.
Makes Mark Few's timeout look like a real good one. Now Douglas. Tanner Riley's been very effective in the second half. Douglas's 3. Sacre rebound. And Pangos pushing it quickly into the front court again. Carter uses the screen. Touch pass. Harris found Sacre with the foul. Great offense for the Zags, and they have responded to the run by the Pilots.
Well, look at this passing. Great touch passing. Carter finding Harris. Harris with the touch pass. Sacre with the composure. Zags back in control.
Well, we're just a couple miles away from downtown Portland, Oregon, on the campus of the University of Portland. 61-52 Gonzaga with a 9-point lead under 4 minutes to play. Our moment of the game is brought to you by Disney Parks. Hard to have better offensive execution than what we just saw.
Well, a beautiful possession there. 5 guys that touched the basketball, but